professional league here. You know, I had a chance to watch the Classico on TV the other night, which was it was a very fiery, passionate affair, which derbies are. But you know, I think having a commitment to the domestic league here, you know, that's the foundation for our future. And it's important that, one, I'm watching, because if the national coach is not watching the domestic league, then there's no hope for our domestic players. If anyone knows my background, I'm very organised in planning and making sure that we have every detail covered for the March camp. March is an important window for us. It's the start of something new, and I want to make sure the players, the fans, they feel something new. So I'll be getting to work immediately, but at the moment I'm going to enjoy this. This is an exciting part of my life, for my family to see the passion here already. I can't wait.
Coach, do you have a plan to add more European-born players to this squad?
Yeah, I think if you've seen my journey in Canada with the men's team, I have a very clear philosophy. To compete on the world stage, you need tier 1 and tier 2 players playing in the top 5 leagues in the world. You need players that have experienced the intensity, the tactical acumen of world football, international football. So consistently I will always recruit players whose careers are telling the best story. And your football career doesn't lie. If you are a top player, you play at the top levels. And Indonesia are at a stage where people want to play for this country. And the local players, their passion, their energy, their commitment, that will come through as well. We will, hopefully, in the next few years, find players that we can export to Europe, to those top leagues or internationally. So I will constantly work to find the best players to play for Indonesia.
Have you got the candidate of
a potential player from England as well?
Have you got some of them in the European?
Yeah, I think it's not hard to see where your top players are. You are looking to bring the best players to this country. Convincing those players to play for Indonesia is a big step, because football is, there are lots of opportunities for players, but I think when players feel and see this passion, this opportunity, the opportunity to be the first group of men to qualify a country to a World Cup, that was a big part of what convinced Stefano Stacchio in Canada to not play for Portugal and play for Canada, to be that group of men that made history and to celebrate with 280 million people. There aren't many countries in the world that can offer that to top players. So I will spend my time with others in PSSI to work diligently to find the best players and to convince them to be part of this journey, which is going to be one of the greatest stories in world football.
Coach, have you made any communication with? Have you made a communication with any players from our national team?
Yes. Over the Christmas, I was wishing many of them a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year with their families. But you know, I've spoke to the core group of players. I've had conversations, long conversations with our captain and some of the senior leaders. Not yet to learn about their World Cup, but just to get to know them as people and introduce myself. Over the next 2 weeks, I will have video conferences with the core leaders of the team to understand the World Cup qualification campaign, to get their perspective, to understand their motivations, why they play for Indonesia, what they want out of their journey. These are conversations that will take place in the next 2 weeks. And then I will visit them. I will, at the end of January, early February, I will head to Europe to watch their training environment, to listen to them in person, to look for other players as well that may be ready to join. But it's going to be busy. it's a busy time, and listening to the players, understanding their perspectives is the most important thing at this stage.
Would you visit some of the local club in National League, maybe because there is our mostly player from the
Yes,
national team?
absolutely. I think you have to recognise the professional league here. You know, I had a chance to watch the Classico on TV the other night, which was it was a very fiery, passionate affair, which derbies are. But you know, I think having a commitment to the domestic league here, you know, that's the foundation for our future. And it's important that, one, I'm watching, because if the national coach is not watching the domestic league, then there's no hope for our domestic players. And we have players like Rizky Uridu, who is doing well in that league, and you know, hopefully he might be somebody that can play at that next level. So you know, I think it's important for our young players, the young players in Borneo FC, those players that are getting game time, to know that the national team coach is watching, because they're our future.
So maybe this weekend, maybe you're gonna go to?
I love football, so the more football I can watch, the better.
Coach, will your assistant mostly local persons, and what's look like the staff lineup?
Yeah, the assistant coaches, that'll be a process over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We'll be making some appointments there. I can't say too much at this moment in time, but that process is underway. The local staff, the analysts, some of the sports science, etc. We will commit. My time in Canada with Dr. Milan, our goal was to leave legacy, to ensure that we, as best we could, used as many local people to give them the experience, because that's important. That's the legacy. When you leave this country, hopefully not too soon, maybe I can live here forever, who knows, but you have to leave that legacy of people, and that's the local people are important.
Satu terakhir ya, satu terakhir. One terakhir.
In choosing the players.
Pak Sumarji, terkait dengan komunikasi antar perangkat kepelatihan di timnas Indonesia sejauh ini dengan kehadiran Bang John seperti apa, dan nantinya ke depannya 6 bulan pertama bagaimana, apa yang digalakkan dari kehadiran Bang John di timnas Indonesia mungkin ya? Boleh?
Yeah, quickly.
Okay. So basically the communications between you and the remainder of the coaching staff that are local, what's the communication process going to be like between you and the local coaching staff?
Yeah, so I mentioned in the press conference analysis, you have to go through an analysis. So there'll be a post-mortem into understanding the World Cup qualification campaign. So I'll be meeting with individual staff, spending time to listen from their perspective, what their roles are, how they contributed to success or failure, and then understanding what we need moving forward. Is this a new future? Is it a revamp? Is it a reconditioning of everything we have here, and you know, supporting the people that have that experience of a World Cup qualification, giving them the chance to go again and learn? All of those things are important.
Last one, Coach, regarding to the players, are you open for the opinion from the federation, or are you going to in charge for the players instead of choosing the players?
Yeah, I mean, national team coaches, they have to take full accountability for their decision making. As a national team coach, you have to consult. It's important to listen to the wisdom of the crowd. You listen to fans, you listen to experts, you listen to coaches in the system lower, you listen to professional coaches in the league. But the head coach, he knows when to turn that noise down and to make decisions. And that's the pressure, the accountability the head coach has to take. And I'm ready for that accountability and responsibility. The head coach will make the decisions on who plays in every game, across games, and in every squad.
Alright, thank you. Terima kasih semuanya. Thank you.
For Indonesian food, you ready?
Ready.
Terima kasih ya.
Bang John semangat.
Mas, thank you ya.
Thank you ya.
Subscribe, share, like, and comment. 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 Subscribe, share, like, and comment.